Welcome to Build Out Brief. This is Jim Kunkel, and I so appreciate your support of the Build Out live stream that broadcasts each Wednesday at noon Eastern Daylight Time. The live stream that you're watching right now will be starting in just 1 minute. Let me take this opportunity to talk about Build Out Brief. This content series is a result of viewers like you who overwhelmingly requested that I add a supplemental series to Build Out that centers on professional business topics, is more focused, and global on guests. If you're thinking about starting a live stream, then StreamYard is a platform for you. It's what I use to build you Build Out Brief. After the stream, see the comment or the description section for my special savings referral link. Now, when it comes to having a professional live stream and winning over viewers, you need to make sure that your graphics and supporting promotional items are the best. All of the creative content for Build Out and Build Out Brief are designed and produced with Canva. You should check out Canva. See the comment or description section for my special Canva referral link. Good evening and welcome to Build Out Brief. This is a 3-part series on sales teams. My guest for this series is Kristine Sizemore, whose Sandler Training Center, located in Birmingham, Alabama, combines Sandler sales system principles with her extensive sales and management experience to help business leaders achieve success and peace of mind. The 3-part series with Kristine focuses first on hiring sales staff, then it moves on to onboarding sales staff, and finally, the important fundamentals of managing salespeople. I hope that you enjoy this 3-part series, and if you do, please consider giving it a like and also share the 3 parts with your connections and your colleagues who would find these broadcasts interesting. I'm Jim Kunkel. Welcome to Build Out Brief. My guest today is Kristine Sizemore. Kristine, welcome.
Thanks, James. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you. We're going to be starting off a 3-segment series regarding sales staff. The first segment is going to be dealing on hiring sales staff. And what I'd wanted to really kind of cover with you up front is going to be some of the hiring strategies that you recommend for your clients to undertake when they're looking to add on new sales staff.
Yes. You know, one of the first, most important things to do when I work with my clients and I'm helping them hire and develop a sales team is I teach them how to make sure they have a candidate funnel. You know, just like you need to have a robust pipeline of prospects in your sales funnel, sales leadership needs to have a robust funnel of qualified candidates that are ready when you have positions that are open. You know, I don't know if anyone listening has ever dealt with this. I know I was in these shoes when I was a sales manager. You know, you come up and at the last minute, you need to backfill someone. You've got numbers to meet. You've got monthly and quarterly and annual quota. And sometimes you hire out of desperation. And what you want to do is do everything you can to avoid that. And that's by having a candidate funnel. So that whether you have a position open or not, you want to be building your network with others in your industry. You want the people who work for you to be sharing with those that they know what the opportunities could be with your organization in the future, so that you have that candidate funnel to rely on when positions come open. And you're playing strategically when it comes to hiring the best person for your position, rather than playing catch up.
So with this way of really approaching it, you're never behind the gun, let's say, where you're scrambling, trying to find someone to fill in that position. You're going to have a readily supply of candidates that could easily, hopefully, take a position and be put into onboarding. Is that correct?
Exactly. And you know, managers or leaders who start working with me, you know, sometimes they'll ask, so that means I'll be recruiting all the time? And the answer to that question is yes. Because just as we are consistently prospecting to fill our pipeline for sales, we need to be consistently prospecting and just make it a part of our regular behaviors so that we're not caught short when we have the opportunity to upgrade a position or bring a new person on the team. You know, that's how you really build a well-oiled machine. that performs over time really at a high level.
For me, what I really see in the hiring process when it comes to really kind of acquiring a sales team is it's just like you had mentioned. It's really working a new prospect, a client. And
Yes.
one of the things too that I had experience with is, developing that sales candidate profile.
Yes.
Do you have experience in working with profile, and what's the most critical elements of a profile that should be included?
Yes, we do. And we find that when you're looking for candidates, there's 6 things that need to be looked at, and it actually fits the acronym SEARCH. The first is skills. The second is experience. Now, that's typically what's covered in a job description or what managers are looking for, skills and experience. But then A stands for attitude. And it's very important to get a good picture of your prospective hire's attitude and what they're going to bring to your team, what they're going to bring to the culture. Then there's results. What have they done in the past? And especially for those of us hiring salespeople, we want to see that track record of success. And the C is we also want to know their cognitive skills. I have a client that their sales new hires need to pass 6 certifications in the first 2 years on the job. And that requires a certain level of math skill and ability. And we actually measure that in an assessment process. Because what they don't want to do is hire someone, they like them, they're onboarding well, but then they're not able to pass those certifications. So those cognitive abilities are important, and there's a lot of different ways you can measure those. And the last one is habits. But, just like attitude, habits are really important to how someone is going to perform day in and day out, how they're going to fit in with the culture of your organization. So I actually spend a lot of time with my clients on that attitude and habit component. Because how do you measure if someone's going to be a proactive communicator? How do you measure if they go above and beyond to help the team? Those attitudes that are so critical to success. How do you measure if someone is kind, even when sharing something difficult or maybe working through conflict? Do they have the skills to do that well and treat others with respect along the way? And then habits. Are they on time? Do they care about others' impression of them? Is their appearance? Do they take care of things the way they need to be taken care of? And we actually take all 6 of those things into consideration, whether we are writing a job description to post a position, whether we're putting together an entire hiring process that includes both objective data points as well as subjective feedback, as well as transitioning on to a fully fleshed out onboarding plan.
So when we're looking at the process of bringing on sales staff,
yes,
one of the things that I've encountered, both interviewing for companies and then also working for companies, interviewing people to add on to a sales team, is sometimes related to the job description.
yes.
And some of the job descriptions can be very nebulous. They can be sometimes not really specific.
Right.
What should go into a job description?
What should go into a job description is not only what you're looking for, but what you're not looking for. So that you can very clearly describe to a candidate, like, for example, I have a client that punctuality is very important. That's how they deliver to their clients. And if you're not an on-time person, and if that's a struggle for you, then the job's just not a good fit. It's also important to lay out the attitude and the expectations of the culture of the company. I work with a lot of family businesses, and they have intentionally built their culture. It's a reflection of their family, a reflection of their values, a reflection of their character and beliefs. And they reflect that very directly in their job description. Because if you want to work for a family-owned company where there's a culture where everyone's treated like family, but everyone also pitches in and does what needs to be done, and we expect you to be proactive in communicating with us, and if there's a problem, we'll work through it. We're not going to ignore it. Lay all that out in the job description, because that's going to help you attract the right kind of people. And people who read that and think, oh, that's not me, they're going to pass.
Yeah, you could really pass up some very good quality candidates. And the other thing, too, is you might actually incur some candidates that you really are probably not going to be able to qualify to get into a position. So when we're looking at that job description, we have a really good process set up. The next part of qualifying a candidate is going to be those interview questions.
Yes.
Are you typically looking for skill-based questions, or are you looking for more problem-solving type of questions when you interview a salesperson?
That's a good question. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And I use assessment tools in the hiring process with my clients that give us a look at 19 competencies that we know are critical to long-term success in sales. And of course, no one's perfect. So from that assessment, we also receive a list of behavioral interviewing questions that are based on how that candidate scored on those traits. And we utilize those questions to really find out what that prospective new hire has done in the past, how they have done it. And it also gives us a list of questions that specifically focuses on their lower areas. Because, an assessment tells us someone's inherent traits, but it does not predict what they can or can't do. So we use those tools to get a good picture in the interview process of what they've done well in the past, of really getting to the truth. Because if someone is not clear in their answer, that tells us, well, you know what? Maybe they haven't done this in the past. But James, do you mind if I take a step back and share about a step that all of my clients have put into their process that has been a real critical for success?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
That is a ride-along with a peer. Mainly for the purpose of evaluating for a culture fit. Because when someone is with a potential peer, they can be very different than when they're with a potential boss. Now, of course, it's also an opportunity for the potential new hire to get to know the company. Because I always set the stage with an upfront contract that, look, the purpose of this ride-along is for you to get to know this company better. You're going to go with, Jane Smith, and you guys are going to spend the day together doing X, Y, and Z. And look, you can ask her anything you want. Ask her what she likes, ask her what she doesn't like. Find out what a good day is like, find out what a bad day is like. And really find out when the rubber hits the road, what the job is really like. And then conversely, the team member gets to give us feedback. The president, the CEO, if I'm involved in helping with that hiring process, us on the culture fit.
Yeah,
because people are more transparent with a peer.
Yeah, I really do like that recommendation. I think doing that ride along is important. Typically, if I would do any type of ride along, it's right after I've accepted a position or we've hired somebody, and then we want to pair them up with a mentor to help them kind of understand exactly what the company does, the fit and the feel, but also too to make sure that we did place them properly in the right function, let's say within the company. So now that we've gone through and we have a great, strong hiring candidate profile, we've got a good process and procedures in place, and we're actively out there looking for, let's say like you said, we're building that funnel. What are some of the recruitment tips that you offer to your clients when it comes to recruiting quality salespeople?
Number one is teach your team and learn yourself how to ask others for introductions to people who might be looking either now or in the future. And learn those talk tracks and become comfortable with them. Because that's going to be one of the best sources of having a qualified funnel of people to go to, potential candidates to go to when you have a job opening. Because people that work for you who are happy, who are doing well, equip them with a kind of a 30-second commercial to share what they like about the organization, why they enjoy working there, and what others could be, if they're looking for the same kind of thing. Hey, let me know. And maybe we can put you at the beginning of the process so that when something opens up, they're first in line. I mean, when you think of how highly desired companies like Google work, that's exactly what they do.
Very good. Very good. Kristine, is there anything that we did not cover when it comes to, hiring a sales team that we didn't talk about that you'd want to leave with the viewers?
A few other ways to recruit, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
When you are at industry events, when you meet other salespeople in either adjacent industries or or in your own space, if you're in sales leadership and you're impressed by someone, definitely connect with them. Connect with them on LinkedIn. Find out if you can help them on their career journey. When you see talent, make sure you connect with them. Because even if they don't turn out to be a good fit for you, they may be able to introduce you to someone who is a good fit. Because, talented people, they tend to stick together.
Excellent. Kristine, how can people get in contact with you? You have a website, social media, any type of other platforms that you broadcast on?
Oh, yeah. I'd welcome the connect on LinkedIn. It's Kristine Sizemore with a K. I post at least weekly, if not 2 or 3 times a week. My website is www.ksainc.sandler.com. You can sign up there if you'd like additional resources from me, or you can reach me at kristine.sizemore@sandler.com.
Excellent. Everyone, thank you for watching. Kristine, thank you for being on for this first segment. Next week, we're going to have a segment regarding the onboarding of the salespeople. So make sure you do check out to the next episode of Build Out Brief. And Kristine, we'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks.